Project B.I.G is no longer Project B.I.G. Following Jakob Schubert's successful first ascent of this mega route on Wednesday, September 20th, he has now given it a name and grade. Now, Ondra had the vision for this route and bolted it 10 years back. But as is customary, the first person to successfully send the climb gets to give it a name and propose a grade. So after a full week of anticipation from the climbing community, let's see what Jakob has to say on Instagram. B.I.G 9C. Well, first off, that rhymes, B.I.G 9C. So Project B.I.G is now B.I.G, and we have a proposed grade of 9C, which if it stands would make it only the third 9C route in the world. It would be a 9C alongside Ondra's Silence, which is also in Flatanger, and Bouin's DNA, which is located in France. Jakob continues, took me a while to sort out my thoughts about my most important ascent so far. I'd like to start with a huge shout out to Ondra for bolting this incredible line and inviting me to try it with him. It was such a cool process, and in the end, it does feel like a team ascent to me, since we helped each other so much and figured out the route much quicker that way. I'd have never been able to send this beast without you, Adam, and fully appreciate the effort that goes into finding and bolting such a king line. Without a doubt, B.I.G is 5 stars, and I can't wait for more people to try it. Wow. I love seeing this collaborative projecting between Ondra and Jakob Schubert, and it's also cool to see Jakob right away giving credit where credit is due. Sure, competition is exciting to watch as well, and we have the IFSC World Cups for that, but in the outdoor realm, I really enjoy seeing this collaboration. This collaborative approach reflects one of the best characteristics of the global climbing community. Jakob continues, my reflections regarding the grade. When we started trying this route last year, I initially thought it could very easily be 9C. But after making a lot of progress very quickly and feeling pretty close on it after 2 weeks already, Adam and me both were pretty confident it'll be 9B+. But somehow we tried a lot more and didn't make much progress, and in hindsight, I don't even think we were actually that close, because we were mostly struggling to stick the crux move and believed to be in for the send once that happens. Knowing how my attempts unfolded this season puts things into a different perspective, as I stuck that move 4 times without sending. My reference for 9B+ is Perfectamundo, which I sent in about 3 weeks of work and which felt way easier to me than B.I.G. Jakob here is referencing when he made the 3rd ascent of Perfectamundo, a 9B+ sport route in Spain that he sent back in 2019. The only other guy who tried B.I.G a lot is Adam, and I'm happy he shared all his opinions with me, which definitely helped me draw my conclusions. So it would appear that Jakob hasn't reached his conclusions about a grade in isolation. I felt at a point where I had found the most efficient way possible for me. The whole route was worked out perfectly, and I didn't see any room for improvement. So all that it came down to was my physical and mental shape, which I think are very good right now. Given the current information that I have and considering Adam's opinion, it feels right to propose 9C, and I'm looking forward to see what time will tell. You can find some more specific thoughts on my profile at the Crag Worldwide. We'll look at his profile on the Crag in just a moment, because there are some really interesting thoughts there from Jakob concerning the grade of B.I.G. Jakob finishes by saying, anyways, the one thing I know for sure is that it will always be one of my most memorable ascents. Indeed, it will be memorable for Jakob as well as thousands of others who were watching when he claimed this first ascent live on YouTube. I love what Jakob has done here to keep the essence of Project B.I.G in the name that he's chosen for this route. Now, some people were wondering in the comments what B.I.G stands for. There are suggestions such as Best in Giant Cave, Bring It Gazalfi, maybe a nod to the notorious B.I.G, or perhaps just spelling out big for emphasis. At any rate, I like the name that Jakob has chosen, but what do you think about this name? Now, as Jakob indicated, he shares some further in-depth thoughts on the grade. Let's take a look at Jakob's profile on thecrag.com. Jakob says, "My biggest mental battle so far. Thanks Adam for the vision and inviting me to join the process. Really proud of this one. It has been one heck of a ride. B.I.G feels so strange to grade because it really doesn't feel that bad if you just try the moves. The crux is an 8A plus boulder problem, and by now I have it dialed so well that I can do it easily, even multiple times in a row. But because of the very powerful style of boulder, it's way more difficult to do it after 80 plus moves of climbing. To me, it felt a whole step beyond Perfectamundo, which seems confirmed at 9B plus. This, alongside reflections with Adam, made me propose 9C for B.I.G. Well, in my eyes, the range for grades up to 9B seemed to have settled due to the total amount of routes and ascents. This doesn't yet seem the case for 9B plus and 9C, where the possibilities for comparison are still very limited. There are not even 10 climbers that claim to have sent 9B plus, and the total of routes graded 9B plus or harder is still below 15, most of which are yet to see repeats. This makes it obvious that confines for both 9B plus and 9C are still blurry and will develop over time and through ascents and shared opinions. I hope they will come soon. So 2 things here are really key. First, Jakob brings up a great point that our understanding of what a 9B plus or 9C sport route is still developing. The current sample size of 9B plus and 9C routes, especially ones that have been repeated, is quite small. So naturally, it will take more time and more people climbing at these grades to reach a consensus of what constitutes, for example, a 9C climb. Secondly, in laying all of this out, Jakob is humbly suggesting a grade for B.I.G based on the information he has right now. At the same time, he appears to acknowledge that it's still blurry and only time will tell if this grade of 9C stands. Do you think Jakob's grade of 9C will stand if Adam Ondra, Seb Bouin, or perhaps Stefano Gazolfi repeat B.I.G? And check out this video for the top 5 moments of Jakob's incredible B.I.G first ascent. And hey, my name is August. Thank you so much for watching.